It is totally crazy. Here's a character you guys recognize in chat. Put the name of this
Ramsey.
alluvial. Oh, you ruined it.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. No,
Sorry.
I was trying to get people to type into chat. It's okay.
No, it's all good.
Is
Just
this
type in
is
the
this
chat
an
anyway.
idle is this an idle animation then? And this is in
Yes.
square format. Am I correct to assume that this is maybe
Yeah.
work in progress of that
It's work
NFT?
in progress. Yes, work in progress NFT artwork. We're in the process now, and this is not just because you're seeing this now doesn't mean that's the exact camera that will be used. It's just the exact animation that will be used. So the animators have a rough square frame that they're locked off to, so that they don't push the animation outside of that or as little as possible. And then Dimitri and myself go in when we're rendering the final and just find the exact camera angle and focal length that brings that character out and gives it the most impact possible.
Got it. Here's an answer to your question a moment ago. You challenged everyone to find a game that had better art in look depth or better fur and look depth. And
Better
here
fur.
Axie Infinity, right? Am I right?
GG. GG.
We got to highlight the trolls for a minute. Give you a little. There's some. I want to give the troll commenters a moment of glory there.
All right. Don't punch down.
Don't. Oh.
Some will remember that.
All right. Beautiful. Here is.
Never forget.
Here's an
Never
animation.
forget. Yeah, we're updating the ultimate animations for all of the. I was going to send you an update of the VFX. Did I send you an update? Of the VFX
In our last Illuvium showcase, we showed this on a battle board. This is just kind of how the donuts are made. Basically, the Omega ability, they're flying in the air, forming a circle of fire, and then casting a sort of hex shape fire down below. I saw that last week. Yeah.
We'll save it for next week then, because
Okay.
it would have only just come today. Basically, Peter has been working on the updated VFX for all of these, and it looks amazing. But this is another example of we did something that at the time we thought was amazing, but then a year and a half goes by. This is one of the first characters lines we worked on, and we're just starting to see some inconsistencies with the quality, and it doesn't slow development down because the animators are at a point where they're not the bottleneck in the game's development. So we may as well just start polishing things up and making them as good as possible, which with our mindsets is just going to continually happen. I've shared leaks that have been updated 5 or 6 times over the last year and a half. So we have a perfectionist mindset, but only when we've got the time available to do it.
Here's a big boy. Struggling to fit this one inside of the frame. So obviously, I like it when characters don't fit in the frame. It makes them feel colossal. But it's going to be up to you guys whether you want to feature the entire model in the frame.
Yeah, it's something we take a lot of thought and care into, but we really want to make sure that they're popping off. Like, this is an example of the camera focal length being wrong for this preview. It's got to be more a longer lens that squashes him down a little bit so his head doesn't look as big. But it's going to be amazing. My only goal in this project was to recreate that giant 150 plus set of characters in one. As you've seen in certain leaks, I always update all the NFT artwork in the shards. You can see them, like, we're slowly chipping away at adding the NFT artwork to those. And that was my dream, because I don't know if people are aware, Kieran and I were massive Pokemon fans. And what happened when we were about 12, 13 years old is, I believe, our cleaner stole our full set binder. So we had a full binder of the entire base set of Pokemon, and that was stolen. And I don't remember.
That's messed up, man. I'm really sorry to hear that. I can only relate. Magic the Gathering was that game for me, and I can only imagine the heart-wrenching feeling of having lost all the emotional attachment and value you put into those cards. Do you think that that's a formative experience that is the reason why you're recreating that today, because you have this emotional hole in your heart?
100%. I was talking to Kieran, and we were like, how do we make this project recapture the Pokemon feeling? And we lost that feeling that day that our cards were stolen. It was just ripped from us. And in hindsight, maybe in a really good way, because personally, I have that kind of like deep. I remember that. I don't
Mm.
remember as a kid. You don't really remember a lot of pain. I think like you push any pain you experience as a kid away, and that's how kids can forget being, abused and shit like that, and it's pretty fucked up. But certain things stick with you into adulthood and serve as a reminder of like, don't keep my shit out, because if people steal it, I'm gonna remember that feeling. And I still remember the exact day I like walked into that room. I was hiding the binder in it. Like we had a towel room, like just
Hmm.
like next to the laundry, and I hid it in there because our parents worked at a tennis center, and there's a lot of people going through the tennis center. And I remember coming in one day and just like looking through all the towels, and it was just gone. So, and never saw our cleaner again after that. I remember the I was just crying for like 2 hours straight. Just couldn't believe it. It was just my life ripped from me. So every time we do the NFT artwork, I'm like one thing closer to pulling that back.
That's really cool. I mean, with this project, with Illuvium, you'll be able to provide the joy of having the collections of Illuvials to hopefully millions of people. So you want to talk about redemption? I mean, that's redemption on a whole nother level. You're
Mm.
not just giving some
Yep.
Pokemon cards to some kid out there to, make up for that, or to your kids, let's say. You're
Mhm.
giving Pokemon cards, if you will, to the whole world,
Mhm. And
and on a whole nother level.
I will not buy a single character in this game. I'm going to collect them all myself. That was Kieran and I set that as a goal. Not going to buy characters on the marketplace. We're just going to collect them ourselves.
That's a great story. Thanks for sharing that, man. I really appreciate it. It shows you're a little bit behind your undying motivation to build. And speaking of which, we've got even